Domestic Violence Awareness Month is in October, but the outreach is ongoing. And here to talk about outreach opportunities in our community and beyond, we have Michele Ashby. She is the Director of Community Services in Donaldsonville and so much more. We're also joined again by Miss Patti Freeman, the Executive Director of Iris. And this month, you guys are having things that are going hand in hand, but the purpose is to confront domestic violence awareness and also support survivors.
Yes.
So Michele, Patti, thank you so much for joining us. Michele, the Holly Jolly Hope Fest is going to be taking place in Donaldsonville, but you guys' resources are going to be going far beyond just the city of Donaldsonville. Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
So the Holly Jolly Hope Fest is an opportunity for us to give to Iris Domestic Violence Center. We are collecting their needed items. We're collecting finances at the door. So it is a $5 interest fee, but that money will go directly to the center. So we understand that this is a nonprofit and they need community help. And so as a community here in Donaldsonville, we want to ensure that we're a part of that they get what they need for the victims that are even coming from our neighborhood. We realize that Ascension Parish is far and wider than just Donaldsonville, but we know that some of those victims come from our neighborhood. So our Hope Fest, it does have it's an indoor shopping experience. It's actually food and games and music. So there's a lot that we can be doing. There's also, and I have to say, the silent auctions and raffle tickets. So we're excited about it.
And tell me about some of the items that are going to be collected at Holly Jolly Hope Fest and why that's important.
Of course. So when I got in touch with Iris, the one thing that they told me that they needed were cleaning supplies. And, you know, a lot of times we take cleaning supplies for granted, but cleaning supplies, toilet paper, paper towels, you know, things that we just kind of take for granted that we have. But if you're an organization like they are that gets all the people in, they need these things. Women need these things. You know, we're also collecting ladies' personal hygiene products. So we do have a lot of those. And some clothes have been donated and things that we take for granted. We're collecting all of those things. Because when we think about it, some people are running from their lives and they don't have anything, right? And so we want to make sure that we're able to give what's needed.
And so the structure of Holly Jolly Hope Fest, the community at large is invited to come and donate and support Iris through this event.
Yes.
And then how do the proceeds then get to Miss Patti and those at Iris?
So what we're doing that day, there's actually, I'm going to present them with a check for the amount that we're collecting on that day. And then afterwards, anything that we have left over, any other donations that come in after that, will continue to be sent to them. I am literally collecting all month long. I want them to continue to see our support. So my community stands behind me and I love them for that. I've gotten so much already. And so I'm gonna make sure that I can go to there and give them what's needed, you know, and try and continue to help.
And Patti, I'm going to bring you in, and it's so important. Miss Michele is talking about things we take for granted. Women or anyone experiencing domestic violence who are literally running for their lives, and so they may not take the things that they need. And so why, if you could encourage the community to come out, to bring these items, to pay the $5 to support the Iris Domestic Violence Center, why should they come? And then when these items get to you, tell me about the center and how it functions, Michele, first.
So it's very important for the community to get involved because you never know when you're going to be affected by this. Whether it's you or someone you know, 1 in 4 women go through this every day. You know, the suicide rate of domestic violence is very high. There's a lot of secrecy when it comes to domestic violence. People feel ashamed. They feel as though no one's going to understand. And I speak from experience with that. So this is very important to me. I myself tried to commit suicide. I myself ran away. I was in a position where I didn't think that no one would understand and look at me as weak. So it's important that we understand that the person sitting next to you may be going through this. Help them, even though you don't know exactly what's happening, but know that there's someone that's next to you that's probably going through it. It's unfortunate, but it's true.
And it is such an honor to be here with you today and to see you still standing here and then taking that experience and serving your community further, serving the Iris Domestic Violence Center. When women who have experienced things like Michele get to the center, or maybe they're still trying to figure out the resources to find out about Iris, what does that look like, Patti?
I think, and I agree with Michele, most often they bring and don't have the ability to bring anything that they need in their day-to-day life. And so while our client or that survivor's seeking our care and support, we provide everything. While they especially are a resident within the emergency shelter or our on-site transitional housing, everything from clothing, school uniforms, school shoes, school supplies, hygiene items. Perhaps they need work uniforms or they need transportation to and from work, something to shampoo their hair, something to brush their teeth, toys for children to play with that are not necessary. People may say it's not necessary, but it is. To provide joy to a child, it is important and necessary. And all of those things they can count on receiving when they come in and continue to receive while with us until we can build a pathway for them to be self-sustaining. It's about creating a healthy path. We know that some studies have shown that a survivor or a victim, if you will return to their abuser 7 times. What we try to build is a healthy pathway to diminish that possibility. And I think the idea that that would be done with a 45-day emergency shelter, where in some cases, and a dear friend, what was a criminal case I worked and then a victim that we served at Iris, endured abuse for 14 years within a relationship, as did her children. Do we believe truly that they will be healed and healthy and ready to move on in 45 days? We have got to, as a community, not only wrap services around persons who are in this situation, but ourselves, our support, our care, our love, and provide joy to children who are exposed to this type of situation in an environment that should be trusted and healthy, so that they will then later have a better path as well. So these types of contributions, they mean everything to Iris. Not just monetary donations, although obviously a nonprofit relies upon it, but these items that spare us the expense of purchasing cleaning supplies for our facility. Iris is nothing like what most people would envision as a shelter. We have seen to that. We want to dispel the old image of a big room with cots sleeping beside strangers with your children who have already been emotionally victimized and sometimes physically as well. Wondering and being terrified because here's a new trauma, here's a new place with strangers. The persons that we serve are in rooms with their children, and that's all. The persons that we serve can benefit from 3 meals a day provided by Iris, some of whom come from an environment where there may be one and sometimes not. And so we see to that also. There's not, hopefully, a need that we don't provide for. And if we learn of one, we will. In some way, we'll find a way. So when we're able to partner with our communities and the communities within which we serve, it serves huge purposes. One is that the community members become aware of the services that we may provide to those who need us. And we build partnerships. And we build upon the program that we have in doing that.
Iris serving 8 parishes, Ascension Parish being one. The Holly Jolly Hope Fest taking place in Donaldsonville, which is in Ascension Parish. But those proceeds will help women, all women from all of those 8 parishes at Iris, taking care of each other, providing awareness, not just in October. This is such an important event, such an important cause. And both of you guys are teaming up to do that. And we are so grateful. If you have Any questions about how to get to Michele? Again, you're taking those donations not just through October, but
Continuously,
ongoing.
yes.
How can people reach you to get those things, the toothbrushes, the hygiene products, the toys, to you so that you can get it to Iris?
So I can be found at Donaldsonville City Hall, 609 Railroad Avenue in Donaldsonville, Louisiana, or you can actually reach me via cell phone, 225-323-1918.
And Patti, the Iris Domestic Violence Center, a resource that stands for 8 parishes. People who are experiencing domestic violence, if they don't know about you or they know of someone who needs to get to you, how do we find the Iris Center?
Our crisis line is 24 hours a day, open and manned by a staff member, always answered by a person, and that number is 225-389-3001. We have a website as well. That's stopdv.org, stopdv.org. Our resources are open. Our phone lines are always open.
Thank you, ladies, both for joining me, and we look forward to this segment helping the community reach you guys so that you can reach the community that it needs to get to.
Thank you.
Again, if you need to reach Michele Ashby, that information will be on your screen along with the information for the Holly Jolly Hope Fest happening October 19th. And if you need to reach Patti or the Irish Domestic Violence Center, that'll be stopdv.org. We'll see you next time.